It's basically a legal plan to cover you as a driver and as an individual. So the main things that it covers is going to be your driver's license with like points that will stay off your record so that whether you're a driver or not, your insurance won't go up and you won't get arrested or lose your license for the 8 major reasons that you'll get infractions upon, which are usually speeding, driving over 15 miles on the speed limit, reckless driving, driving without the proper insurance or proper permits to be a driver. So what the legal plan covers is that if you are anytime cited or need help in any kind of legal situation, we're going to help basically represent you. The coverage basically has like 5 major areas I'm going to go with you real quick. The first is what's called traffic accident representation. So if any of these things happen to you, God forbid, while you're driving, manslaughter, voluntary manslaughter, homicide, we're going to cover this. We're going to be able to cover this for you 100% without you having to come out of your pocket. Secondly, if your license gets suspended for anything with the exception of DUI or driving without the proper permits, we're going to also be able to do the work to reinstate your license for you, so you don't have to worry about coming out of your pocket once again to get your license reinstated. We'll also cover you for any kind of major moving violations. If you have a moving violation within the first 15 years assigned for the service, we're going to give you full representation in court. So once again, not out of your pocket representation in court. One thing that we're also going to cover, like I said, is that if there's any, there's other plans that other companies offer like this, but one of the main things they don't do is give you full coverage for any kind of like accident or personal injury. So anytime you're cause an accident, cause property injury, property damage, we're going to once again give you full representation versus a portion of that. That's part of your legal plan. Second thing we're going to do, if you look at this, is that for your individual needs. Let's say just you as a driver or you as an individual, if you have any kind of question about any area of law, whether it be gun law, consumer law, employer law, we're going to pick up the phone, ask the question to one of our attorneys, and get the questions answered. Quick question: is there anything that you're like? Let's say if you have the world's top attorneys available to you, like right now, is there anything, whether it be for as a driver or not as a driver, you want to ask me that you're currently dealing with or have dealt with in the past?
No, I just know that I need to file for like trust and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
In a house, that's about it.
Okay, cool. So something like that, case in point, even though wills are included free of charge for all the members, for something like a trust, if you become a member, any kind of services you do need that's not covered in our plan, you're going to get a 25% discount on those things. So like trusts, divorces, things that usually once in a lifetime things, you'll be able to get it for a discounted rate. The things that we give every member, regardless whether you use it or not, are going to be, like I said, your advice and consultation. I have a story about this one, letter of documents written for you. What we basically do is, like, I'm not sure if you knew this or not, but like when I was driving for a Lyft, you know, I put the mustache on my car, and I'm not sure if you saw this on Facebook or not, but when I took it off to get my car washed, it had scrapped the mustache, the little wires.
They'll pay for damage.
So,
They take pictures of it.
so I took pictures of it and sent it to them. And they're like, wow, can you send us the estimate for the repair? I'm like, I don't know. So I sent the estimate. It was $748. They're like, oh, well, like, George, normally we cover up to $250, but in this situation, they're like, in this situation, because of the situation, we're going to be $400. And I was like, well, that's cool and all, but my damage is $748, and I didn't want to put this mustache on my car. You guys asked me to do it. I think I should cover the full amount. They're like, I'm sure that's the best we're gonna do. I was like, all right. So then I called Legal Shield, told them about what happened. So they wrote a letter to Lyft regarding what took place for the amount that the repair was. So within that was about a week later, I get a call from Lyft, a phone call from a guy named Steven. He's like, George, hi, this is Steven from Lyft. First of all, I just want to apologize for one, not calling you sooner to see if the amount was appropriate, or two, I forgot what else he did, but he goes, bottom line, we're going to give you the full amount for your repair, and can you please tell your lawyer that we contacted you. I'm like, hell yeah, you know. So I got to send this to Lyft actually today. This is the release from what they sent me to get the full amount. And one other kind of, I hate to say it's shady thing, but like when I did get my release, one of the things that we do is that we do contract review. So before I signed it, I was like, let me make sure this is legit. So before I signed it, they're like, yeah, don't sign this one at all. I'm like, why? They're asking you to waive your rights for future claims you might have against them versus just the present one that you're coming to them for. I'm like, really? He goes, yeah, look at this line. He's gonna scratch that line out, tell them to resubmit it, and tell them why you're saying no. And I did that, and they said, oh, not a problem. They took that line out too, sent it back to me. I'm like, yeah, we'll go ahead and make sure that you can get all the future things that you need to. I'm like, hell, mother effing yeah. Excuse my language. Too late. I won't be doing that in presentations. So, anyways, anytime. So, yeah. So, with my 4 minutes left, anytime you have any kind of like contract or document that you need reviewed as a driver or not as a driver, like you're buying a house, whatever it may be.
So I want to ask you, how much did you pay on top of that? How much did you pay for them to write that up for you?
Sure. So as a member for you as well, that's nothing. That didn't cost anything additional. So underneath your membership, the membership is $30 a month. Any kind of any kind of contracts or documents review are included. So to review that waiver, that was included. To write a letter, that's included as well. Phone calls are all included, so there's no out-of-pocket cost. The only out-of-pocket cost you'll ever get is that if something isn't covered in our plan already, like I said, like getting a trust done or divorce, things that are like once in a lifetime things, you'll pay, but you'll always get a discount. So there's never like an area that you're better off having a membership than not having a membership because you're always going to come out better. But long story short, yeah, none of this cost me anything extra. It just was part of me being a member. Yeah. If you are, the last things I'll cover are the last two areas are the 24/7 emergency access and the trauma things. This one is my absolute favorite. As I actually use this here, this is to me and you. I was coming off of Camelback Road on Halloween, 4 Lyft girls in my car. I had been drinking a beer before I picked them up, and it was like a really good beer. I'm fine. One beer's gonna be okay. Hey, got a dark beer, picked them up, took them to Camelback, and wanted to get back to Tempe where the block party was. So I cut through the parking lot on Central and Camelback, like behind Applebee's.
Someone was watching it.
So I'm doing 60 down Camelback Road with a little bit of beer in my coffee cup in the coffee container.
That's just stupid.
I'm not saying this is not the best. Hear me out.
Plus, do you have a commercial license?
Hear me out. This is not smart. I'm not condoning this behavior at all. But I'm just telling you how this is beneficial. So I get pulled over, and they ask me for all the questions, do a sobriety test on me and all that. I'm like, please, don't look in my car. But in the process, I asked them for my ID and my registration. I also pull out my this card right here, a legal show card. And what it does is that it was on the back. It says if you're intended to arrest, detain me, detain me, question me, allow me to call my lawyer. So the officer looked at that and was like, what this? I said, well, if I need to call my lawyer just in case if I need to get arrested or something like that, I want to make sure I can call him. So he looked at that and was like, all right. Long story short, I wasn't drunk, basically, all good. He goes, and he came back to us and goes, no, listen, George, you're not, obviously not drunk, but I can give you about $300 worth of tickets right now for your little expenditure, through Applebee's parking lot. Or you can call this a very good learning experience and have a good night. I was like, I'll call this a very good learning experience and having a good night. So, needless to say, that was it. Now, I'm not sure if being able to have my legal shield card made a difference in that situation, but either way, it definitely changed the outcome of how it went. Whether it be I could call my lawyer, he was like, hey, let's not get a lawyer involved, but it just kept me out of otherwise compromised situation. At 6 o'clock at 11 o'clock on a Saturday. So as a member, though, if you ever get into a situation where who knows what's happening, where you need to talk to a lawyer, you're getting arrested, you're being detained, you're able to actually call a lawyer to get out of that situation versus being stuck. So, and then the last one is just trauma defense. Every member automatically gets a certain amount of hours allotted to them to defend themselves if they're ever named to defend any kind of civil-related matter. So if someone, God forbid, sues you for being a driver or sues you for your yoga practice for whatever reason, I don't know, maybe you looked at them wrong, this is Sue USA, you automatically get a bunch of hours to defend yourself. So part of it's going to be pre-trial and part of it's going to be actual real trial, and those will increase every single year. and that's down at 333 hours, which is less than the OJ trial. So no matter what, you'll have more than enough coverage. Cool. That's my time. If you have any other questions, my name is George Benson, and thank you for hearing about Legal Shield.
Cool.
Cool.